Hello and welcome to this tutorial for working with images for Omni CMS web pages. So we see here an image that I'm going to use on a web page, and I want to do a number of things with it. For one thing, it has a lot of empty space on the sides, a little bit on the top and bottom, that we could sort of reduce down to maximize the view of the folks in the image. Another thing with the image is we can see up here from the file type, it's a PNG or PNG file. PNG files are really, really large in their file size. They take up a big footprint, and we want to convert that to a JPEG, which takes far less memory. So to give kind of a view of this, if I look at the details of this image in its info, this image is 3.4 megs in size. It is huge. Now, if you have a lot of PNGs on a web page, it will slow down how long it takes for the page to load for a user. So converting to JPEG will vastly reduce that image size while maintaining the quality of the image. So that's one thing we want to do. Another thing is if I look down here in the dimensions, I can see that this image is 2048 by 1362. That is absolutely huge. And we want to make it smaller within sort of the website guidelines. And when we ask, what are the website guidelines for images? If we go on our add-ons tab in Backstage View, we've got a couple tabs here, one for landing page snippet guide and one for standard page snippet guide. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the landing page snippet guide. If you're unsure of what size image to use, this is a great resource to look at. For example, here it shows a hero image at 3000 by 2250. And as we go down, we'll note 800 pixels by 600 pixels here. And a lot of the snippets, you'll see 800 by 600 pixels. This isn't by accident. That's a certain size, but it's also a certain aspect ratio. An aspect ratio being the size relative of the height to the width. If you make all of your images 800 by 600, it's sort of a standard. If you have a snippet like, say, this one, and all the images are 800 by 600, you don't end up with a sort of zigzag where everything doesn't line up. And in this case, we're going to use the 800 by 600 standard, because say we were going to use it in a snippet like this. Okay, so let's go with that for the moment. So let's pull up our image again, and that's what we're looking at. I'm going to open Photoshop. Okay, and I'm going to open the image in there. So I'm going to click Open. And I have it in an images demo directory here in PNGs, pings. Okay, it's going to open the image. There we have the image. So we're ready to work with it. First thing here, you might note that there is a box around it. The box is a frame for cropping. It's been automatically applied in this case. The reason is that my Photoshop is set automatically to adjust images based on the aspect ratio. So if I come up here and look at the top left, you'll see that there's a thing that says ratio, okay? And it's set to 4 and 3. That is the exact aspect ratio of image we want. If I were to look, there's all kinds of options for different things in here. But you would be perfectly fine to open this up, set it to ratio, set to 4, set to 3. And you automatically have a frame for the size that you're going to need. So from here, I'm going to do my edit for the sides and such. And you're going to notice as I come to these handles and I drag them about, it's going to maintain that aspect ratio size. It's going to automatically draw in the sides and such. So maybe I pull this down a little bit and maximize a little bit to the bottom. We'll go up to about the bottom of her hand here, like so. And now we're ready to crop. So I'm going to come over here and we have the crop tool. On mine, my screen, it's 5 down from the top. And I'm going to click that. And so we've cropped the image. Okay. So we've got the image we want. We've got the aspect ratio we want. So now we need it to be the size we want. So to resize this image, I'm going to go up to the image option in the top menu. And I'm going to choose image size. And we've got a lot of information here, the dimensions and such. We're wanting to set it, of course, to 800 by 600. And I want you to note this little chain button here. You want to leave that completely alone. You want these lines connecting. The reason being, when you change one of the dimensions, it will automatically change the other. If for whatever reason you have this undone and you change one, it won't change the other, and it's going to deform your image. So you want to make sure this chain button has these two lines connecting out that tie these two dimensions together. We want a width of 800 and a height of 600. So I should be able to just go to the width, set it to 800. The height automatically adjusts to 600. It's exactly what we want. I'm going to hit OK. There we go. So we've got our crop, we've got our resize. Now we need to convert it to a JPEG. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to select Save a Copy, because I might want to save that original for whatever reason. It's going to give you this option, Save on a Computer, Creative Cloud. I'm personally going to use Save on the Computer. Okay, and there's the name of it. And I might, since I don't want to overwrite my old version, I'm going to change the name to redone image, maybe. And it's still a PNG. I don't want it to be a PNG. So I'm going to come down to Format here. And I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to change that to JPEG. Okay. And it looks like I'm in the directory I want. Yep, the PNGs directory, which of course is not going to be ping when I'm done. And I'm going to click Save. It's going to give me some more options here. Image options, quality 12, maximum. I set it at maximum. It's not going to make a huge memory difference, so might as well set it to maximum. You want the highest quality image you can have. And I'm going to click OK. It's going to export the image. So let's go have a look at that. If I go back into it, here's my new version of the image. And I'm going to get its info just to do a comparison here with the old version. This is our new version. This is the old version. So let's look at this memory comparison here as far as the file size goes. The original ping file was 3.4 megs in size. It was huge. By doing all this work and converting it to JPEG, it is now only 338 kilobytes in size. So that's basically going to save a lot of space on the server. And when you think about the website as being over 20,000 pages, if you think about that in comparative of using JPEGs versus PNGs, it makes a huge difference. So be sure to convert to JPEG. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to upload this onto the website. Okay, here's the web page I'm going to place the image on. And I might say, want to replace this image or put it above it, something. I'm going to go ahead and check the page out here. Now I want to upload the image into the images directory. For directories, I do recommend that you put an images folder like this in whatever directory the page that will feature the images on. It keeps things nice and tidy that way. And I'm going to click that images folder, and we're going to upload the image into it. We got the upload button over here. Okay, I want to choose add. And it'll make me look through my desktop and find it. There we go. Okay, our name is all right. If we had a space or an illegal character in the name, it would give us a warning there, for example, like that. Well, let's actually just space in the image. That's what I meant to do. And see, we get does not pass the file name requirements. It's going to make you rename it, and that's fine. For spaces, I usually use an underscore like that. So, okay, I'm going to upload that image. Okay, so the image is in the folder now. It's unpublished. But before I do anything else, we're going to further optimize it size-wise. And OmniCMS can do this. This is a neat little trick it does. Note that the image right now is 330K in size. We're going to see if we can make it even smaller with OmniZone optimization. I'm going to click the file name. which launches the image in Omni's editor. Of course, we've done all our editing in Photoshop, so we don't need to edit it, but I'm going to resave the image. By saving it here, oftentimes it will optimize the size even further to be used on the web. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. It'll overwrite the old version with a new one. And if I pop out to Pages Now, it has dropped to 48.6K. So an even more dramatic drop in the size. So between converting to JPEG in whatever application, be it Photoshop, if you're on Mac, you might use Preview, and then coming in here and doing that open and save yet again, we've taken a file that was something like 3.5 meg in size in its original size and reduced it all the way down to 48.6K. That is very, very dramatic, and it will make your pages load much, much faster. Not to mention save a lot of the footprint that the website takes as a whole, which saves Wichita State money that they have to pay for all that storage. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and publish this image, and I could either do that in the edit view on the publish button, just as I would a web page, or I can do that in pages view on the more actions icon over here. And we need to publish images. After you do the save to optimize, that is the probably the second most important step that you do. The reason why an unpublished image will not actually show on the live websites, on the live web pages. And this confuses a lot of people because they will go and they'll upload images and they'll go work on their web pages. And in Backstage Editing view, it will show the images as if they're visible. So you won't know there's any issue there until after you publish the page and look at it live. When you do, if the image was used in usually pretty much any snippet, you will not see the image. You'll see a red box with an X in it, and the alt text, whatever you gave, will be displayed right next to it. So it's important that you come in here and publish your images after you're all done with this work. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. That image is good to use on the web page. So I'm going to go back out to my web pages here, and I'm going to open that page I was working on. In the main content here, I want this image above, so I'm going to create a space here, do the insert edit image button, and it's going to ask for source. I'm going to link that just like I would a web page for a dependency link. Open up the menu that opens up the directory view, just like pages view. And I need to find the 123 directory. There we go. With the filter, Omni CMS Basics, images, and there's our redone image. I'm going to insert it. The alternate description, this is absolutely crucial to fill out. If the image has context in relation to the page, it's something that would be relaying some form of information. You need to write out an alt text that describes the image. The reason being is screen reader users are not able to see the image, so the screen reader is going to read them the alternative description. Now, if it is just an image that's on a web page purely for decorative reasons, you can absolutely use the alt text decorative image. In this case, we have 3 people at an awards presentation. So assuming that this image was being used on a page that is for that awards presentation, you would want to actually name those people and the award they're receiving. So in this case, I don't actually know the names of the people we're seeing here, but as an example, alternative description, we could go looking at the image again. Okay, we got 3 people. And we could say Jane Doe and John Smith, presenting Jane Smith with, and what was it here? 20 years of service. Okay. Presenting Jane Smith with a 20 years of service recognition. That would be proper alt text for that. Of course, you would want to use the real names. And we have our image on our page. Our image has been cropped. It's optimized. It's the right size. And that's all there is to it. You're ready to save and publish. Have a good day.